Hello students, welcome to module number 3. In this particular video I am going to explain photovoltaic solar cell and how what is the working principle of photovoltaic solar cell, and what are the performance characteristics of a photovoltaic cell, and where we can able to apply, or where we can find this application of photovoltaic cell, that we are going to discuss in brief. Photovoltaic cell or solar electric generation using solar photovoltaics. Okay, so the direct conversion of solar energy into electrical energy by means of the photovoltaic effect, by that is the conversion of light or other electromagnetic radiation into electricity. That is the basic principle. The photovoltaic effect is defined as the generation of an electromotive force as a result of the absorption of ionizing radiation. Okay, so the energy conversion devices which are used to convert sunlight into electricity by the use of photovoltaic effect are called as solar cells. Okay, so a single converter cell is called a solar cell, or more generally it is called as photovoltaic cell, and combination of such cells are designed in increase the electric power output is called as solar module or solar array. Okay, so the photovoltaic cells are semiconductors. Okay, so semiconductors, and that generate electricity when they absorb light. As photons are received, these free electrical charges are generated, and that can be collected on contact supplied to the surface of the semiconductors. So because solar cells are not heat engines, and therefore do not need any need to operate at high temperatures, when they are adapted to weak energy flux of solar radiation, which is operating at a room temperature itself. Okay. So these devices have theoretically it's having efficiency of the order of 25%, and actual operating efficiency are less than half of this value, and it decrease fairly and rapidly with increasing temperature and other factors. So the best known application of photovoltaic cells are electrical power generation has been in spacecraft, or for which the silicon solar cell is the most or highly developed type. The silicon cell consists of a single crystal of silicon into which a doping material uh, is diffused to form semiconductor. I hope you studied about p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor in your physics, or while you are studying in PUC, or in first year engineering, or you may studied that in basics of or elements of mechanical engineering also. So since the early days of solar cell development, many improvements have been made in crystal growing, or doping, or electrical contact, and cell assembly and production methods. Okay, so large number of cells have been manufactured with areas of 2 into 2 centimeter the efficiency approaching 10% and operating at 28 degrees centigrade. So the efficiency is the power developed per unit area of array divided by the solar energy flux. Okay, that you should know. So solar energy flux is 1.353 into kilowatt per meter square, or 1353 watt per meter square. That is the solar flux induced or solar constant that you studied in previous uh, what I can say in previous videos, isn't it? So very significant development have been taken in the last few years, and new types of cell have been developed, and where several innovative methods for manufacturing process we are introduced, which will enhance the conversion efficiency of existing types, or in terms of cost reduction, and in terms of volume of the production or arrays that have been increased in a quite good manner. So the annual world production of photovoltaic devices in 2006 was about 2500 megawatt power, but the corresponding production in India was 90 megawatt, with a significant amount being exported. But as a result of above development, solar cells are now being used extensively in many appliances, and it is possible that in the future they may become one of the important source of power for providing small amounts of electrical energy for localized use, particularly in remote locations. I hope all of you have seen uh, in a street light the introduced government has given many economic benefit, or they stand as a backbone for promoting solar street lights, as well solar signals, and solar operated signals, and then they are promoting now about solar energy, usage of solar energy. So in future we can able to see whole thing is converted into solar. Okay, this what is the working principle of solar cells or solar cell principles? So here you can able to see the sketch. I hope this is just refreshment for you, because you already studied about this, so you have to refresh it, that's all. Okay, so the photovoltaic effect can be observed in nature in a variety of materials, but the materials that have been shown with the best performance are is sunlight, or the sunlight, which are in semiconductors as stated above. When photons from the sun are absorbed in a semiconductor, they create a free electrons with larger energies, and larger energized than the electrons, which provide the bonding in the base crystal. So once these electrons are created, there must be an electric field which is introduced these higher energy electrons to flow out from the semiconductor to do useful work. So the electric field in most solar cells is provided by a junction materials, which have different electrical properties. To obtain useful power output from photon interactions in a semiconductor, there are three processes are required. One is the photons have to be absorbed in the active part of the material. As a result, the electrons being excited to a higher energy potential, and the electron hole charge carrier created by the absorption must be physically separated and moved to the edge of the cell. This the charge carriers must be removed from the cell and delivered to useful load before they lose their extra potential. So these are the three important things. So for completing the above three process, the solar cell should consist of a semiconductor in which electron hole pairs are created by absorption of incident electron, and a region is very much necessary containing a drift field for charge separation and a charge collecting front and back electrodes. That these are important. Okay, so the photovoltaic effect can be described easily for p-n junction in a semiconductor. So in an intrinsic semiconductor such as silicon, each one of the four valency electrons of the material atom is tied in a chemical bond. Okay, so there are no free electrons at absolute zero. So if a piece of such material is doped on one side by 5 valence electron material such as arsenic or phosphorus, there will be an excess electrons, or there will be an excess electrons which will be practically free to move in a semiconductor lattice. Okay, so when the other side of the same piece is doped by a 3 valency electron material such as boron, there will be a definite or a shortage or deficiency of electrons leading to a p-type semiconductor. Okay, so this deficiency is expressed in terms of excess of holes which is free to move in the lattice. So, in such a piece of semiconductor, with one side with the p-type and other side with the n-type is called as p-n junction. Okay, so in this junction, after the photons are absorbed, a free electrons of the n side will tend to flow to the p side, and the holes of p side will tend to flow to the n region to compensate for their respective deficiencies absences. Okay, so the diffusion will create the electric field because the EMF is going to generate, so from the n region to p region this field will increase until it reaches equilibrium. So the sum of the diffusion of potential for holes and electrons, if electrical contacts are made with the two semiconductor materials and contacts are connected through an external electrical conductor, the free electrons will flow from the n-type material through the conductor to the p-type material, which is shown in figure. Okay, so hence the free electrons will enter the holes and become bound electrons. Thus both free electrons and holes will be removed. The flow of electrons through the external conductor constitutes an electric current which will continue as long as more free electrons and holes which are being formed by the solar radiation. Okay, so this is the basis of photovoltaic conversion. That is the conversion of solar energy into electrical energy. The combination of p-type and n-type semiconductors thus constitutes photovoltaic or PV cell or solar cell. All such cells generate district all such solar cells will generate direct current which can be converted into alternating current as or if we desire. Okay, or according to the application. The most of the normal configuration of solar cell to make p-n junction of a semiconductor is shown schematically. The junction of the p-type and n-type materials provide an inherent electric field which will separate the charge created by the absorption of sunlight. This p-n junction is usually obtained by putting p-type base material into diffusion furnace which containing gaseous n-type dopant. Okay, so this is which is shown or which is explained in that figure. So here you can able to see one more cross-sectional diagram of silicon cell. Okay, so here this PN junction is usually obtained by putting p-type base material into a diffusion furnace containing gaseous n-type dopant, such as phosphorus, and allowing the n dopant to diffuse into surface. Okay, so the surface of about 0.2 micrometer. Okay, the junction is thus formed slightly below the planar surface of the cell, and the light which is impinges which will impinges perpendicular to the junction. So the positive and negative charges created by the absorption of photons are thus encouraged to drift and or drift to the front and back of the solar cell. So the back is completely covered by metallic contact to remove all the charges to the electric load. So the collection of these charges from the front of the cell is added by a fine grid of narrow metallic fingers. Okay, narrow metal electrode finger in front end. So the surface coverage of the conducting collectors is typically about 5%, and which will in order to allow as much as light uh, to reach the junction area. So an anti-reflective coating is applied on the top of the cell. Okay, so in the figure, a cross-sectional diagram of silicon cell is shown, where which will demonstrate how this PN junction provides an electrical field that will able to, or how it will generate electrical energy. Next, applications of this solar photovoltaic conversions. Some of the applications which we can see or we can use PV systems are: one is pumping water for irrigation and drinking, electrification for remote villages for providing street lighting, home lighting, and other community services, telecommunication for the post and telegraph and railway communication network, maybe for solar heating, maybe solar for solar cooling, solar production of hydrogen, where production of hydrogen where we can use solar greenhouses, solar desalination, solar cooking, or maybe other applications. Okay, so we have certain advantages of this photovoltaic solar cells, like it is a direct room, we can use or we can generate in direct room temperature conversion, and absence of moving parts. Okay, there is no moving part, ability to function attended for long periods, or you can install it once you installed, and then there is no any proper monitoring is not required. Then they do not create pollution, they have long effective life, they are highly reliable. Okay, these are the advantages. So with this advantage, we can use this solar photovoltaic conversion or PV systems in many applications. This sketch is one small example how we can use solar photovoltaic cell for the water pumping system. Okay, to lift water from a borewell. to a storage tank. So we can utilize this solar cell. This is one small example. We can utilize we can use this for photovoltaic solar cell in many applications.